Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you're doing well. We finally got around to episode 3 on the podcast. I'm really enjoying doing this. Leave in the comments who I should interview next. But on this one, I got to interview Joel from Blowing Diesel. What he does is he specializes in the SuperDuty swap. And he makes parts to make that happen for you. And not only does he make these parts, but he makes them cheaper than everyone else. So you guys should go hit him up. I've got a discount code for you guys to get 10% off, and it's First Class 10. Joel gave me this for you guys to use to go make your trucks ride better and steer better. With that being said, I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast. We talked about all sorts of stuff, and hopefully this gives you the push that you need to make this axle swap happen. I really hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for watching.
Of a building, why not? It's got the highest safety rating, Beethoven.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Good. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah,
How you doing?
doing good, man. Excited for this.
Me too. I see you're rocking the hoodie there.
Yeah, you know it.
How's it fit?
Oh, dude, it's perfect. This thing's comfy.
Good. Did you see the YouTube educated ones that I'm just mocked up?
No, what are they?
I
I
just
gotta catch up.
they're not up yet, but it's literally the YouTube logo on the back and then
Yeah.
it says educated under it.
Ooh. Oh man, I gotta check that out. That sounds cool.
I think that that'll relate big time to you for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
where exactly are you at? Are you in Arizona? Are you in Arizona?
Yeah, I'm in northern Arizona. I'm pretty close to Prescott.
I have no
That's
idea
kind
where
of
that
the
is.
more known place close to me. So
I have no idea where that is.
it's in the non-desert part of Arizona, up in the
Oh,
mountains.
okay.
Yeah. Most people think that all Arizona is a desert, but we've got mountains and stuff over here too. So it's pretty cool.
Good deal. So yeah, let's jump into this. For everybody that doesn't know who this is blowingdiesel.com, which you guys probably know him as on Instagram. His real name is Joel, and something he focuses on is really just attacking the OBS and its outdated parts, making new parts for these trucks to make them not only last longer, but ride better, look better. Just some things that they should have done back in the 90s that Joel's just trying to perfect. So once again, this is Blowing Diesel. And I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And after, click the links below, go check them out. Some of these parts will really change your OBS's life. I've got a couple of his parts under my truck right now, and I've rocked the SuperDuty build, which he specializes in. And it has definitely changed the way my truck rides, looks, the complements, the turning of the heads as you drive by. It really does make a big difference. But just a little introduction of who this is, and we're gonna hop right into this. So let's start with something that just ticks you off. The twin I-beam.
Man, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with it yet. I know that pretty much everyone hates it. I know you hate it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, it's good for me because it's good business, people trying to get rid of it. I mean, it was a good concept, I guess, and I mean, it's something that most people don't know is that I don't know on the newer trucks, but the twin eye beam was still used, I think, on the two-wheel drive Super Duties. I think they still use that suspension. So I mean, I think they ended up fixing some of the stuff, but on our trucks, I mean, you can't ever align it right. You know, you're always truing up tires, backing up with it can be a pain in the ass. But yeah, and there's definitely companies that have been trying to figure out a way to fix it. I know that there's a couple of people that have done coilover swaps for them and stuff like that. Um, but what I'm trying to do, and like what I've been focusing on lately is just doing the O5 Plus swap because I think overall, even over the F350, the Dana 60s on the OBS trucks, I think the O5 Plus is just a much better platform. I mean, if you put them side by side, like I did when I first did the swap and the O5 Plus, hey, gotta guess. Excuse me, but the O5 Plus is so much beefier. I mean, like the axle tubes, all the steering, the knuckles, the brakes. I mean, like I said, if you guys ever do the swap, I mean, just put them side by side and you'll see why, it's worth it. It's just such a much beefier, better axle. And when I first did the swap, I'm sure you saw the first videos that I did when I first started doing the swap. I tried doing it the cheapest way possible, which was using the stock coil spring buckets and radius arm brackets like you did. And then I bought a track bar bracket from Absolute Customs, which they're out of business already. They're not a company anymore. And I really wasn't that happy with it. I mean, the craftsmanship wasn't that great. The fit wasn't that great. I mean, it worked and it got me through, but I didn't like it that much. And at that point, I was already selling bumper brackets, right? And people that were buying them were asking me, I should make my own parts. And I guess that's where it started. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but
No.
but yeah, and the focus has been to make it as easy as possible for someone to bolt them on with as many existing holes as possible, and make it just as user friendly as possible. Take as much of the guesswork out of the swap. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. A lot of people have asked me since I've done it because I think I'm the only one that I know of, and I'm sure there's other people that have done it on an F-150. And not only that, but a brick nose. And I know that you can, like other people, put it on other things. I'm the only one that I know of that has done it to an F-150. And so I have the twin I-beam, and I did put it on a rough country lift kit, which not bagging rough country. I think they do a great job of trying to accommodate every lift kit that they possibly can. And they do great work. So I'm not bagging that at all. But whenever I put that rough country lift kit on, I went up 4 inches, which made it look awesome. Yeah. But I could turn, I could do everything I needed to, but when I backed up, those wheels went like this.
Yeah.
And I lost so much life on my tires. And I was like, there has to be a fix to this. So I was trying everything. I took a ratchet strap and put it to the drop brackets because I noticed them kind of moving a little bit. I've heard of people welding those up, and I just could never find a good solution. I tried aligning it in so many other ways, couldn't do it. And as time went on, I was like, there has to be a better way. And I ended up kind of researching like the 70s, the 70s front axle, the Dana 44. Because it's very similar as far as hooking up and everything. I think you can even keep the same drop brackets for the most part.
Yeah, I believe so.
But I also saw that those axles were really hard to find.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much have to buy a truck.
Yeah.
So I had a truck meet that I went to, and a buddy of mine, you probably know Joey Forbes, maybe. He's got a very nice, 70s. I can't remember the exact year. But beautiful truck. And he's got a couple of trucks that he's working on right now.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, why don't you just slap a Super Duty axle under that? And I was like, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. And I was like, I'm going to try to find a 70s front end, but I couldn't. And eventually, like, we talked and we kept talking. And then I saw some of your videos and people doing it. And then I went to another meet and saw a kid that did it to an 89 F-250. And I was like, dang, that really looks good. And I hopped in the truck and rode with him. And I was like, I think this is what I need to do. And so I budgeted it out a little bit, tried to find what I could. And I was like, I think this is going to be the best bang for my buck. And so I went that route, and I think pioneered maybe a little bit of the F-150 model in that route, which is awesome because that means it's out there for more people. I wouldn't recommend doing it to an inline six. I'd say a V8 302 is about the limit. It doesn't really affect my speed or horsepower or anything like that. I can tell it's a little heavier, and it's a little like when you get to highway speed, you sit on that like I think it's about 60 to 65 mile an hour. You're either 65 or you're 60, and there's nowhere between that. That transmission just wants to find a better spot to run in.
Yeah.
But I also have a boat, and I think that boat probably runs around with the trailer. I would probably put 3,500 to 4,500 pounds. And I can recall driving down the ramp to put the boat in the water, and that twin I-beam, I would just get kind of pushed around a little bit. And then when I put that Super Duty axle on, like when it's time to stop, it's time to stop. And and it just takes control. So
It's just such a much better platform. Yeah.
it is. It is. Yeah. I definitely, if you're watching this, and you're thinking about it, I definitely encourage it. Joel will tell you the same thing. Like you just feel so much safer with that front end up there. And I'm not bagging on, what factory made, some of those ride well. But there's just more to play.
The thing about them though is that they're already so old, and you gotta one of the reasons why I decided to go the route that I did is because my front end my axle, everything needed a rebuild. Like it was pretty toast, and I started pricing out everything to rebuild it. And it really wasn't that much more expensive to just buy the new axle,
Right.
And I just decided to go that way. Instead of spending the money on the old stuff, just go with newer stuff that's better, works better. And like I said, I always tell people that it's not just about the ride. Because you do get a better ride and you get so many more options to make your truck ride even better. But like it's the brakes, the turning radius, like everything about it is just so much better. That being said, like I think maybe in the future I do want to give it a try and fixing some things with the TTVs, to give people options, because that's what I'm all about. I want to give people options.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just so much better.
No, I definitely agree. And I love the options part that you're talking about. And I know recently, so like one thing that I did on mine, and I think we talked about this, you said that I should try to mock this other track bracket up that you were talking about.
Yep.
And right now I've got the Pitman arm from the rough country, which drops down. Yep. And I know in one of your videos you talked about trying to find the parallel with the track bar and this steering rod.
The drag link.
Yes, the drag link. And you talked about that, and I don't have that. But it works. It does what it needs to do. But I think you're definitely right about trying to find that parallel, attachment up there. And you talked about, well, you've already got that Pitman arm on there. Why don't we just figure out how to put a dropped track bar on? You don't happen to have a track bar on you, do you?
Yeah. In a sec.
Yep. So what he has is a track bar that obviously drops down, but what he's done is he's created these shims, and these shims played a huge role on my build whenever I did this axle swap on trying to get the axle square under the truck, because
Yep.
that's a problem. You might have to buy an adjustment one from Rough Country or whatever, but he makes it easier so that you shouldn't have to do that. But
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, it's kind of hard because there's so many, different variations, I guess, to it. But we've made it so that your track bar basically bolts right here, and we've got shims. I forgot to get them, but basically, I got one. I've got 3 sets. One that's centered on this thing, and then one that is slightly off to one side or the other one, and then the 3 more extremes all the way to one end or the other. Like I said, you should be able to kind of tune it in pretty close to center. On my truck, it's pretty much perfectly centered, and do the same track bar bracket. We've used it on stock suspension trucks all the way up to I think 4.5 inches is the most that I've had someone with this, and I've more complained about not being centered or not the bar bracket. So we're pretty good that way. And like Tim's saying, I get requests almost every day about higher lift trucks, and I do listen to that. And I'm currently working on the drop track bar bracket, which would be a 3-inch drop over this one. And we're really trying hard to get that out at least by the end of the year. So, there's that for everyone that wants a little bit more of a lift to their trucks.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get that one out, because I was just talking. So my wife, she can barely get in the truck now as it is. And this is a truck that whenever I started messing, let's see, I've had this truck for probably 10 years now. I'm 24 now. So around 14 is probably, I think, when I started messing around on it. And the cab of the truck, so the tallest point was about up to here on me at that point. And now it's off the screen higher than, what it was. And that SuperDuty build really helps it beef up and look good right there. But my favorite part about the SuperDuty build and the axles and then the rear as well is that once he puts this bracket out, to lift your truck, all you have to do is run a different coil spring or block it, whatever you want to do to find it. I would suggest getting some blocks for the rear and the front. That way, when you get it up in the air, you might be like, oh, we don't want to be squatting, boys.
Yeah,
So it's super easy to lift your truck once you have that track bar or track bracket, whichever comes easier. I would prefer a solid track bar with a dropped bracket than an adjustable track bar. Yeah, track bar.
Yeah.
So I've even thought about, once this comes out, maybe I might even go even higher. I'm right at that point where I like where it sits, but I'm like, maybe 2 or 3 more inches, this thing will be a dog.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
And
Yeah.
I love driving down the road and looking at semi-truck drivers in the eyes. I love that part.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I'm trying to make this new track bar, because I want to go higher too, at least for a little bit, because the red truck, that thing's my R&D truck. That thing's retired already, and basically all I'm doing with it right now is making new parts. And I think it'd be pretty cool to have it at least for a while on a bigger lift, maybe some 38s, 40s would be pretty cool for it,
Right.
At least for a little while, just to see, what it looks like that.
Right. And you could drop it in what, 3 or 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the SuperDuty build, how easy it is. And if you have a skid loader or something, that's what I did. I just picked mine up, threw on everything under there, and then set it down. And I was good to go. I just aligned it.
Yeah.
And I was
And
on my way.
I did the swap in my garage with just jack stands and the jack. So you don't need a whole shop to do this thing. And I've had guys that get the kit, get all the other parts that they need, and they literally knock out the swap in a weekend. So it's not really that hard. As long as you have everything ready to go, everything's just bolting the new stuff in. You do got to drill. I think it's like 7 new holes total. Yeah. If you have a 4-wheel drive truck, F-250 or F-350. But for the most part, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I can't remember. So I believe. So does your buckets match up with stock buckets on the bottom side?
On the below side?
Those stock holes.
Man,
Because mine did
yeah,
so the OEM buckets. I got my buckets off of a buddy out in Pennsylvania. Shout out
yeah,
to Jay Wish. Um, and I was like, I threw them under there just to line them up because it's 13 and a half from the mount, the
yeah.
something mount on the
The
front.
body mount?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the body mount. I think it's a body mount from the front. It's been a
yeah,
while, but I would say 13 and a half. So I threw that bucket under there and I just screwed it in real quick just to, line it up to see where it was at. Pulled the tape out and I was like 13 and I think like a little over a quarter. And which is, I think,
yeah,
fine if you're more towards the, if you want to probably be towards the cab more than anything, like a 14 you'd be safe with,
yeah,
because you want that slight angle on your springs or your coil springs going down to the axle.
yeah,
At least I think, I don't, it just makes sense that you would have that slight angle down because you're moving forward.
yeah.
Um, I don't know, but yeah, my bolt did match up within, 16th of an inch of
I
that.
can't remember when I had the stock coil buckets. I think yeah, it might have been close. But my coil buckets, they basically use on a four-wheel drive truck. They'll use all the bolts on your shock tower. So the four that are on the side of the frame, and the two that are underneath that use for the bump stop. And then
Okay.
you got to drill two holes on either side.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened to mine. As far as bolting up wise, it was very easy. And for anybody, once again, that's thinking about this, um, at the age of 16 was like the first time I ever changed oil. Uh, I didn't really, now I had an old truck, so I never really changed the oil anyway, just kept
Yeah.
adding. Um,
Yep.
so as far as mechanically inclined, I had a couple of buddies back in the day that really gave me some confidence to start attacking projects on my own. Once I did that, if you've done the rough country lift kit, I'm telling you, the SuperDuty kit is easier than the rough country kit. And I don't, have you done the rough country kit to start?
So
Yeah.
my truck it has a 3-inch rough country lift on it. So that's what's on it. But when it was stock, I bought it like that. So I don't know if that's the way it was stock. I mean, it was pretty high. So I think it must have had like an added leaf or something.
Yeah. Oh, so you weren't twin, you were just leaf springs on the front.
Yeah, yeah, it was an F350 with Dana 60.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but like I said, I when I was doing it, I was getting so much hate over that because, like I said, so many guys were asking me like, "You already have a Dana 60, why are you swapping it?" And like I said, I swapped it because it's a better axle. You know, it wasn't that much more expensive than having to fix everything that was wrong with the Dana 60 because the actual hubs were blown on it. I was going through wheel bearings like all the time and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
For some reason I thought you were a two-wheel drive with twins.
No, the crew cab F350 is a two-wheel drive with twins.
Okay. Maybe I saw that a long time ago and never like got a camera zoom out and thought you were running the other truck. But
Yeah, so that's the one that's got the twins. And I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I feel that it feels really loose. Like
yeah.
it's not like confidence inspiring, you know, like it's a really comfy truck, especially with the freaking couch seats that it has.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfy,
Yeah.
but it does feel really loose. And I got big plans for that truck too. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. Yeah.
You talk those seats that you're talking about. I've got a buddy, his name's Charlie Brown.
Hey.
Brown Gets Down, I think is his username, maybe still. He came to a meet down over here in Indiana, which he's like right down the road from me. And
Yeah.
he's got a dually with those seats in there. And he's like, yeah, dude, get in the back of this and sit back here. I sat back there and I was like, this is better than anything that's out on the market right now. Like I
It's so
can
comfy.
sleep back here.
Yeah.
And he takes that a lot of places. He hooks up he's got a nice little fountain boat. I think it's a little over 26 feet long, maybe in the 30s, but he hooks that thing up, takes it to Cumberland over here in the Midwest, Dale Hollow, and he takes that dually everywhere with him, and it just
Yeah.
goes. And he's like, it's luxury.
Yeah,
So
it's so comfy. Like my wife loves that truck.
yeah,
She yeah, she loves going like we take it out all the time. Like I said, it's so comfy, which I'm shocked that she likes it. She's not the biggest fan of the single cab just because it's so loud and stuff, you know.
yeah.
She loves the dually. Sorry, Louis.
No, I've been thinking about, a newer truck to haul around boats and stuff, or do I go get an old like F-350 to do it with? I think that would be cool. It's been on my mind a lot lately, but I don't know. I'd have to do some more research into it. So,
I don't know. Like I'm not the biggest fan of like newer trucks. I don't know why. Um, they're cool. They're cool for sure. But they just don't call my they don't call my attention, you know.
no,
I'm
no,
definitely into like the older trucks and not just Fords. I think anything that's like 90s and pretty much pre 2000s. I like Chevys, Dodge, but I think definitely the OBS is where it's at least
right.
for me.
Yeah.
But maybe if I was, you know, like hauling a lot, you know, trailers and stuff like that, then maybe probably a newer truck would be cool.
Mhm.
Um, my front door neighbor has an F450. I think it's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
King Ranch F450. I mean, you know, why not?
Right. I think the only thing that the fear is just, old parts breaking down and
Yeah,
that whole but if it was down to like having a good motor and something reliable in that older style,
yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer. And that's something I've been debating. Like I said, I've got the 302, but I've got like a little LS bug in me right now that wants to, and I know everybody does that, but it's such a reliable engine. And I don't want to like trick it out to make it, crazy or anything. I just want something that's going to give me, 350 to 400 horse, something that can get up and go
Yeah,
and have good fuel efficiency for a truck.
yeah,
Parts are everywhere. They're very reliable. I swear up and down with the 5.3
yeah.
and the 6.0. My dad has a 6.0 and he's never had any issues with it. There's a couple guys that do concrete for us whenever we were building pole barns, and they had a couple of 6.0s that were like pushing 400,000 miles. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they're gas hogs, but still.
No, you can't go wrong with an LS. I mean, that's why everyone uses it. Honestly, you know, it's a great engine, and you can't hate on it.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a lot of people have been wanting me to come and swap it. I just don't have a ton of knowledge, and I'm man enough to admit that that I don't have a lot of motor knowledge.
Yeah,
And right now it's tough to own a diesel right now.
yeah.
You know, you, everything's double. Right now it's triple over here. It's probably pretty high. I don't know what like cost of living is over there, but
Not cheap.
not cheap.
Yeah, not cheap. That's for sure.
So are you guys very like, I know everybody dogs on California and their prices. Are you guys very similar to that?
No. Uh Man, I forgot what diesel was right now, but I think I want to say like $5.
Yeah. So it sounds
Yeah,
like we're very similar.
yeah. It was like 508, I think.
What's gas over there right now?
That's quite a bit cheaper. I think it's like 388. I
Okay.
want to say.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're very sim Indiana's pretty much right there on that mark as of right now. Um,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as bad as California.
yeah.
That sucks.
So kind of moving on with this, and once again, if you're just pushing into this now, this Joel creates all sorts of parts for the OBS trucks. What's your what's your goal? And then kind of like, what's your end goal with this? Or do you have an end goal? Is it just to keep like evolving? Like, okay, this part's kind of getting outdated. How can I make this better? Is that kind of like your just continuing goal is to keep attacking problems and solving these problems for people?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously I want to have basically a full line for the OBS trucks. Um, I want to really nail down just the basic swap, and I feel I'm pretty confident with what I have right now. The last couple of things that I want to add to the kit as is right now is a hanger option for the leaf springs. So for people that want to use the '08 and up leaf springs and don't want to mess around too much with the measurements and stuff like that. So I want to kind of direct bolt-on hangers for that, something like a shackle flip and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I was saying, I want to come up with more actual lift options, 4-lane kits and stuff like that. For people that want more custom looking trucks and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, just keep tackling stuff, keep adding to the store, and just everything that I've made for these trucks has always been with the idea of making it as user friendly as possible, and something that's not gonna break the bank either.
Right.
I feel really proud of my kit because I think it's honestly the best kit in the market, and I offered it at a price that's not too crazy, something that's more affordable,
Yeah. No, that's one thing that I push whenever I talk about your kit. And this isn't dogging on any of those other companies that make it, but like you definitely get more bang for your buck in your store.
Yep.
You're not outrageous. And
Yep.
I think that eventually will traffic quantity
Yep.
with your quality.
Yep.
That's the best way to go about it. And if you have quality and quantity, you're going to dominate that game. And I think you're the only one that really focuses truly on just this swap overall and these parts. I know OBS Solutions does the same thing as far as like liners and locks and just little custom parts.
Yep.
Shout out to them. I think they're doing some great stuff over there as well.
Oh, they're awesome.
And I love the tailgates that they're pushing out right now.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I think once I start really working on making the truck look pretty, I'm definitely gonna be grabbing some of their stuff because it's so freaking nice.
Yes, absolutely. Like I've kind of not really stayed in contact with them, but like more of just followed their journey for a while now. And it is like if I had a $10,000 gift card, I would go pick up so much stuff and turn that truck around in no time. And their store would get at least probably a quarter of that $10,000. They just make some really good stuff. And just if you ever get to see, I posted a picture of a truck here recently, just the rear end of it. And I want to say that tailgate panel came from OBS Solutions. It just updates that truck, especially from behind. And I really love seeing that. And they're doing good stuff over there. But back to you, as far as I think what you have going on is, bang for your buck. You outdo everybody on price. And I don't like the economy we're in right now. I don't know how much longer you can do that. But as long as those people's prices keep rising and you stay under their radar, I think you're going to be fine. I'm suffering from that right now too, especially with merch. Like how much I can't charge, $65 for a hoodie. It's just, you don't profit, but like, it's kind of to that point now where I just want to keep getting the brand out there. So like, we're going to keep those prices low and hopefully that turns around and comes back. So
and that's what I'm trying to do, like not get too crazy with the prices, offer, and then overall just offer the best quality that I can. I mean, like I really focus on the best welds that I can lay on these things, the best design. And because like I said, those first couple of brackets that I got at first, I mean, they were the cheapest on the market, but from that other company. But you could definitely tell the quality, like it's just like the welds, they were pretty cold, pretty small, and like me being a welder, I'm like damn,
Yeah,
And like I said, on these things, like we really laid down the dimes on them, I don't know if you can
you
see.
do. You definitely do.
So, and like everything's fully welded. Um, we just went to pickled and oiled steel, which it's easier to weld, better welds, easier cut. It looks better. So, like we're trying to really upper quality as much as we can on everything. And yeah, really excited for what's next for sure.
And if you haven't picked up one of those brackets, I mean, they are solid. Like you get it in the box, it is a solid piece. And those welds, he's showing you those welds right there. I have that same exact part at my house. It's under my truck right now. It looks that clean. It is a very beautiful piece, and the welds are very clean. And they really did lay them down. So I'm proof of that is how that looks. It's not like he's going to show you a model and then you get junk in the mail. I can
Every single one looks like this. Like it's like because I'm not gonna do what you said. I'm not gonna have like a beautiful one, as a display picture, that we spent a whole bunch of time making, and then you get just whatever. Every single one, looks like this, just because one, it's obviously quality. You want it to look good, but it's also for safety. Like you want those welds to hold,
Yeah.
and that thing ain't going anywhere.
So you into those welds holding. What do you think would happen if one of those parts or one of those welds broke under someone else's vehicle? Does that come back on you?
Well, yeah, obviously, it's my product.
Right.
Yeah, but like I stand behind it,
Yeah.
obviously, like and another thing that I really focus on, and you can ask pretty much, anyone, like customer service for everyone. It's like it was for you, like I was there for you, try to help you as much as I can, and that's what I focus on, not just on the product, but also on the customer service part of it. Like I really try to be there for whatever it is. Even I've helped guys that don't even have my kit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
that's true. If you're watching this, that's true. I
yep,
remember we talked about some stuff before we even made this happen.
yep.
Uh, so yes, Joel will walk you through a lot of this. And here, after we take a break, we're going to get into the YouTube side of things, and it's hard to just look at a manual. Joel does a really good job of just he has a YouTube channel over every single part he makes, how to hook it up, where it should be, how it should be. It may look right, but it's not right. So we're gonna hop into that here in a second, and it's better than an instruction manual. So
Yeah.
after this, we will talk about YouTube. I'm running out of time on this one. So I'm going to close this off, and then I'm going to send you an email back, and then we'll hop right back on, do
Sounds
another
good.
40 minutes, and then probably close it off from there. You hear me?
We're good.
Awesome. So continuing, I want to, what is the truck scene like in Arizona?
Where I'm at, not great, honestly. It sucks pretty bad. I know that like down in the valley, like down in Phoenix, it's supposed to be better. But I don't know. I haven't really been to any meets over there. Over here, where I'm at, it's an older community. You know what I mean? Like more
Yeah.
older folks, and there's a lot of hot rods, which is cool. Uh, so and most of like the shows is mostly just like 90% hot rods, like or like older stuff,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I love going to it, but as far as trucks, not that hot.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
It's just kind of something I was thinking about with your business being trucks. in your area where you live not being a truck area, and you probably have family and family's close, but could you ever see yourself moving, I don't know, to maybe like a Florida or a Carolinas or even like just somewhere in the Midwest where the truck scene's bigger so that you could like go to shows and start booths and travel a little bit for your business?
I mean, I don't think we really move just because I love where I'm at. And
Yeah.
but I think if I would move, it would be something somewhere like Colorado. We love Colorado, and I've got family there. Like that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
Texas would definitely be cool too. Definitely the truck scene in Texas is pretty hot. I sell a lot of stuff to Texas.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely want to get set up though to be able to travel and go to as many shows as I can.
Hmm.
It's just right now it's super hard because I can't leave the business. I'm mostly a one man show. I mean, I've got a buddy of mine that helps me out in the garage on the weekends, and my my wife, she's amazing. She handles the business side of the business. So, but yeah, definitely would be cool though to be somewhere that's closer to all the action.
Yeah. Now you say
Just like,
Colorado. I think Colorado might be a good spot. Um, I used to work with a guy kind of through social media. His name was Mile High OBS.
oh,
And I don't know what happened, if he got hacked or something. But he kind of fizzled out there for a while. But he had a good little following. I
yeah,
also know Lady OBS. You know who I'm talking about? She did a Super Duty swap. Um,
yeah,
but she's from Colorado, I want to say as well. And then
yeah,
there's another girl named Jasmine. She's from Colorado as well. There's a lot of good little, Colorado truck scene. I don't know where specifically, but I do send a good little load of merch and decals out to that area. So
yeah,
um, that could be one spot. Maybe you go and you don't leave family.
yeah,
Not saying that you have to, but it was just
yeah,
a thought that I had. Would you ever travel for that? Because I just talked to Jordan 7-3 Queen here recently,
yeah. That
and
was a good one.
she talked about traveling a lot more next year, especially
Yeah,
for her business and just being more commercial,
yeah.
what she does. So yeah, that's just something I was thinking about. And if, expansion wise, if you ever thought about going into any of that traveling or booth stuff or,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely my wife and I have definitely talked about just being able to get set up to travel a lot more. Because I mean, to start off, we love traveling. We really like to get out and travel, and that's something that we talked about being able to. That's part of the reason why I bought the dually, because the end goal for that thing is for it to be my tow rig,
yeah.
so that I can have a dually, either build or buy a trailer to pull the single cab and try and hit as many shows as possible. So that's definitely like in the 2 year mark, that we want to get set up to be able to do that.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I think that would
Yeah.
be, I think that'd be
Yeah.
fun. I think about that a lot. The problem is you got truck shows that are in the summer, and I really like going to the lake in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but I do have one big show once a year. And that usually pops off pretty well. We've had some weather the past 2 years with it. So
Yeah.
hopefully third time's a charm and it's just it just gets blown out of the water. So that may
And
be all the
that's
traveling
one
I
of the ones we want to make it to.
do. What?
What's that? That's definitely one of the ones that we want to make it to for sure.
Yeah, I would love, it's at my county fairgrounds, and we have a pretty good size fairgrounds. I don't know the exact um, size, acreage to what it is because I don't really know specifically like how much we could use.
Yeah.
Um, but I really believe that if they were to let me have a weekend, and it doesn't even have to be during the fair, but just a weekend overall, that we could do a lot of damage there. as far as, making this an event, because we have a lot of indoor arenas. We have well, not arenas, just barns, and we have a good indoor arena. Total barn like coverage, I would think we could probably put 200 trucks under roofs.
That's good.
And you could upcharge huge money just to keep a truck under a roof, especially anybody with SEMA type builds or just clean builds overall.
Yeah.
And I think you could make your money back quickly there.
Yeah.
But we also have a good sized campground. I would say that we could probably put 150 campers out there. I think it would just be really hard to like how much can you contain it with it making a good show and not making it like a drunk fest, like a redneck rave type deal.
Yeah.
I want to have fun, but I don't want to get out of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to do that because I really do feel like people would travel to do it. And if we can keep a lot of it indoors, it would be like, well, if the weather comes, then it comes, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Yeah.
So that might be something we do in the long run, and we change things up, and we do dirt drags, and we do truck pulls, and we do all sorts of stuff. But I guess we'll never know. But moving on into some other things, and we talked about this before the break, YouTube in general, and that being more of your instruction manual than writing something out. And I don't know if you do you write anything out as far as like how to hook up or anything? Or do you just like put a YouTube link and just say, look it up?
We're actually working on a full set of written down instructions for the kit. Because I think it's really valuable for people to have, a piece of paper that they can take up to the truck.
Yeah.
And just read and follow. Now that being said, along with that, we do want to kind of do a whole new videos where we also walk you through everything, because definitely with what I have out right now, you can get the swap done, but I think I can do a lot better.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to try and do a lot better. That's why, like I said, we're working on the written instructions, and we're trying to make them as nice as possible, with plenty of pictures and measurements and everything. To, like I said, it's already an easy swap, but I think the more that we can provide,
Yeah.
the better. But yeah, right now it's just a link on the website when you go to the actual page.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think maybe like renting out, or I'm sure you've got a buddy that has like a car lift, and just to be able to put that truck in the air where there's awesome light, and you can really explain and just sit there and be like, this is here, get a tape measure out, this is how this goes in. I think something along those lines to make it as easy as possible to see, because I'm a visual learner. If I see where it's at, boom, I'm good. And I believe there's a lot of people just like me watching these videos. If they see it, they're going to be like, okay, that's how it's supposed to look. Because sometimes I just need to know, how's it supposed to look.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be beneficial to almost do that. And that's probably something that's in your agenda to go about doing. I think you would kill it as far as getting that view and that really good instruction, and just putting those on YouTube.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the plan. Like I said, we want to get the written instructions done, and basically my plan is to walk with you, like not read, but go off the instructions and showing you step by step on the truck how you're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about doing.
Right.
And like I said, I'm also there. Like I've talked to guys on the phone. I've sent pictures, videos. Like I'll be there with you for the swap. Like that's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I want to try and do it as easy as possible for you.
Right.
So yeah.
So is this right now something you plan on, like maybe trying to peel away from your job, or have you already done that? Or,
Well, I'm full time on this. I'm full time.
okay.
Yeah, we planned for this to be kind of like my full time job. So
Yeah.
I quit last year. My
Wow.
job. Well, I didn't quit. I was doing industrial construction,
Yeah.
and that's job to job. And basically, I ended a job, and I didn't take the next one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And it's probably always there to go back to.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I've got plenty of friends in the business, so if I ever need to fall back to it, it's there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's one thing
Yeah,
that like I like to push this podcast around. You probably saw with Seth and you saw with Jordan, those people just letting go and taking that jump to
yeah,
pour their all in what they believe in and their passions.
yeah. It's scary for sure, but I mean, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I love these trucks, and I couldn't think of anything better that I could be doing. I was I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, the one that helps me with all these things and stuff like that. I was telling him that before, like I couldn't be still at a job, like I love moving around, especially because I was in industrial construction, so like we're always moving, and like I always wanted to go to the next one. Yeah, and I've been doing this for so long now, and I love it. I just want to keep going at it.
yeah.
So I'm so happy that I found this.
Yeah. No, and I think it's something that you're always going to be able to make money on and continue with. And you've found that niche, you found that problem that needs to be solved. And 10 years from now, I know you don't have a Dodge, or you might have a Dodge, but there's a part that a Dodge needs, and you're like, I've got it. Here's tack, 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 fold, cut. Here's what you need, and I've got it in my store. And I think that you could probably expand on something bigger. And there's not enough, to me, there's not enough places out there making truck parts, and there never will be enough.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I the way I look at it, they made probably like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these trucks, and they're still playing. And there's people like you and I that are coming to an age where we finally can own these trucks and fix them up to our liking. So I think it's a great market, honestly. And another thing, the people, the community is awesome. I,
yes,
I love the OBS community.
yes,
Everyone's great. There's nothing but support, like I was when I first started my YouTube channel, I was so nervous. I was like, man, like, because YouTube, like everyone talks about the hate and all this stuff, and the comments.
mhm,
If you go through my comments, like everyone's so cool, so they support everything so much, and that's another thing that I love about the OBS, the community, like everyone's so cool. I haven't really encountered anyone that wasn't, supportive, I guess.
yeah. No, I completely agree with that. As far as like the OBS community, not outside of it, but the OBS community inside of it, and maybe it's just we're all on the same chapter and we all
Yep.
understand it and we get, what's going on. Like I rarely ever see any hate comments in my section as well. And if I do, it's somebody that's kind of just like outside the circle.
Yeah. Just a
Um,
troll.
yeah, really. Like they post nothing, or they don't even have a vehicle that
Yeah.
they're working on, and it's like you said, there really is not a lot of hate in this OBS community. Now,
Yep.
Jordan and I have talked about hate on the outside of it because there
Yeah.
is, and I think that just comes with keeping up with the Joneses a little bit on this truck scene, because you see kids coming right out of high school, they're getting a union job, they're getting a good job of some sort. Boom, 50,000 down on
Yeah.
they're getting a loan on a $50,000 truck,
Yep.
smacking wheels and tires on it, and then just being a trashy human.
Yep.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going out and doing that, but I really see it a lot in that community, like just trash talking on trash talking, and it's outside of that OBS community. You get into this older community of trucks, and that's something Jordan and I talked about. Just that older community, for some reason, it's peaceful. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's trying to, hey, this worked for me. You should try it, And that's what I really love about the OBS community. You're exactly right whenever it comes to that, just people supporting other people. Maybe it's just because there's a limited supply of these OBS trucks. They're not making them anymore, but there is a huge quantity of this OBS generation. So,
And
yeah.
like, hopefully we can keep a lot more of them on the road, like that's the goal.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
Now, that's something I talk about with my parents a lot. Like, my truck's gonna be 33 years old in in uh in January, supposedly. How cool would it be to drive that on its 100th birthday whenever I'm 90 something years old?
right.
I think about that a lot, and I think you will see a lot of that happening, as years to come, especially as we're having canes in our hands walking around. I think that's going to be really cool to
Yeah.
see, because I don't think people don't give up on these trucks.
I'm definitely not like at least a single cab. That's gonna be with me forever. I mean, as long as I can keep it, I'm gonna keep it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I know there's like they're trying to do like diesel deletion out there and all sorts of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably just hype behind it to something to
No,
talk about.
it's nonsense. I don't know. Like it. Yeah. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's it's crazy because like, especially like with all the electric stuff, I don't have a problem with electric cars. They're cool. They're cool. They're fast and whatnot, but they're not for me. The problem with all that stuff is that I feel like it's being forced.
yeah.
Well,
No,
like in California, they're not gonna sell them. They're not gonna sell anything gas powered after like 2030 or 35 or whatever. Like I don't know. They shouldn't be pushing stuff like that. Especially when I think that we're not ready for it. Like the infrastructures, the technology,
right.
it's not ready for a change like that.
We
So I
are.
don't think it's gonna go through, but hopefully,
I don't see it ever going through
I think we're gonna
completely.
have our trucks for. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah. No, I
exactly.
agree with you. And I like you said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We just gotta figure out how to deal with it as far as like, how are we, getting rid of this. Once these batteries blow and they're done, we really don't have a good way of disposing any of this stuff yet. And maybe we will, and then we can start talking about it. But right now we don't. And I feel like I don't want to get too far into that talk, but
Well, they're acting like we'll cross that bridge when we get there, sort of thing. Like they're
yeah,
not really being proactive about it. I feel like it at least, and they're just kind of throwing all these regulations or whatever you want to call it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and then like, don't even get me started on the EPA. And everything they're doing to the diesel community.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I see it. I know about it over there, and it's pushed heavy over there where you're at in
Yeah.
that area.
Luckily, where I'm at is pretty chill because it's like a rural community. So
Yeah,
there's we don't even have emissions where
yeah,
I'm at, but like in California or just there, a lot of things that you hear stories and whatnot. Like people getting charged crazy amounts of money.
yeah. That's
I don't know
wild.
if you saw that story of that guy that I think he deleted his truck or something like that, and then they're basically asking for the guy to get it crushed because he deleted it. I don't know if you saw that. So I think he had a RAM or something like that. I
Really,
didn't fully read it, but I don't know. That's crazy to me.
I believe
That's that.
they're gonna push whatever they want to push.
Yeah, that's too much.
So pushing into back into your business, YouTube, are you taking like, I don't want to get on your financial situation or anything like that. But like, do you dump back into your business? You're making YouTube videos as instructional videos, but the instructional videos are, they're profiting for you at this point too. Um, and you kind of see that as like a little side hustle as well, just keeping that content because your content's great. Like you're really good at editing, or someone's good at editing.
Mostly me. Sometimes my wife
Yeah.
helps out too, but
So like I
um,
look at that and I think, you do a pretty good job with all that. And I kind of talked to my parents about it too, as far as like YouTube. And you think about a simple oil change. And I'm teaching somebody how to do an oil change on my truck, and I post that on YouTube. That's like a income that will come forever, because as long as that truck's still on the road, somebody's always going to be looking up how to do that oil change. How do you see YouTube for you, as far as like not only a side hustle, but like almost a side income at the same time? And what do you do with that?
well, I mean, honestly, as far as income, there's really not that much. I'll be honest with you. As like income from YouTube, I think I make like $200 a month, you know? So it's nothing major. Um, and the way that we look at it right now is as advertising, honestly.
Yeah,
So that's, kind of like where, and I don't try to push my products on every single video, it's just every now and then.
yeah,
But it's just mainly for advertising because that's where we get a lot of our traffic to our website and stuff like that.
right.
Uh, but yeah, like as far as seeing it as like a side hustle or for like more money, not really. I mean, it would definitely be nice the day that it gets big enough to where it's a significant, amount of money. But honestly, I spend more money to make the videos than I make out of it, from it.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think that's honestly the way that it is with most automotive channels until you get big enough that you actually make money out of them.
yeah.
It takes a lot of money to have a automotive channel for sure.
Right, right. No,
Yeah.
I can see that.
And
I've
yeah,
read like
honestly, yeah.
no, go ahead.
Honestly, I think that when it comes to YouTube, I wouldn't recommend someone go into it for the money because you might be disappointed if you go into making YouTube for the money because there's really not a lot unless you really hit it off,
Yeah.
then who knows, you might. That was never my goal. My goal was I bought my truck and I bought it one because I love it. I love those trucks. It's always been my favorite body style.
Yeah.
But I also bought it because I wanted to learn more about diesel trucks and to work on them and stuff like that. And once I did start working on them and I tried to find info, there wasn't any, at least not on YouTube.
Hmm.
And I always thought like, like maybe I should make videos.
Right.
And one day I finally decided to start making them. And I basically did it because I wanted to help out other guys. Like I would spend hours on forums, like looking up whatever I was gonna do. Like if I was gonna do um like glow plugs or injectors or whatever, all that stuff that I did
Hmm.
early on the channel, I would spend hours, days just gathering info, printing sheets and stuff like that. And then I would go and make the videos to try and help out, other guys in the OBS community. And like I said, if you go into it, oof. But yeah, if you go into it just for the passion of it because you want to help other guys, because you want to make good videos, that maybe aren't out there or that you think you can make a better video. Like I'll admit, I don't think that my videos are the best,
Yeah.
And if you think that too, go ahead and make a better video and help, help the next guy because that's what I started doing them because
Right.
like I said, when I did my YouTube channel, there was this guy called Patrick the Baptist or something like that. They had OBS stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other guys that were making OBS videos, and not not to hate on them, but they were kind of like I felt that they were kind of boring.
Yeah.
They were doing them a lot more like instructional based, and I tried to make them a little bit more entertaining, but I mean they're still not the most entertaining stuff out there. But yeah, that was my goal, just to help people out.
Right.
And slowly it's been growing, and it turned into the business to where now we make parts, and well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is hard, like especially, and I've talked to other people about this too, like this podcast. Like it's really hard to um, stay entertaining. It's hard to, and you go back and you watch a video and you're just cringing. The whole time.
Yeah,
I suck at this.
yeah,
But the only way to get better is to keep doing it. And that was one thing, like you talked about, finding those problems. You thought you could do a better job at this video than that person. And no hate to those people. Those are the pioneers of what we do.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and that's one reason why I like created the SuperDuty budget uh, YouTube video, because I really thought, people who don't have a ton of cash on hand and they want to do it, like, okay, how much is this going to cost me? Or do I just need to go buy all this stuff and then figure out how much it's going to cost later? And I saw that with somebody who did an LS swap. They're like, here's how much it's going to cost you to do an LS swap. And I thought they were pretty accurate on that. And then on this one, when I did the SuperDuty like budget build, that was pretty much just to get you on the road and rolling. And I picked out ways to do it. I thought that was really beneficial. I mean, other people may not think so, but I thought it went really well as far as like helping people find that um, where they're going to be on it and how much do they need to save to make it happen. And there are more expensive ways and there are cheaper ways. It just depends what you want to do about it. So it definitely is coming down to finding, what do they call it, like
Yep.
a niche or whatever.
Yep.
And it does come down to that. And I think that's something you're really figuring out big time.
Yep.
Your videos are, what is this to this? That might be something that's I've seen you post videos of questions that I've had, but never even thought to look up because I'm like, nobody's gonna say anything about that. And
Yeah.
you're really hitting every point. And one of those might get 300 views and the next one might get 30,000 views. So digging in your own brain and what other people think is huge. So hats off to you for that. And you just
Yeah,
keep
and
punching them out.
that's what I'm trying. Like, and that's one thing that sucks right now. That the business has been doing so good, and I've been so busy trying to keep up with orders that I haven't had time to make as many videos as I would want to. And it sucks because I truly love making videos and like working on the truck and put it on YouTube. And I'm definitely trying to find out a way that I can make, take a couple of days out of the week, make a video and post it because I really just truly enjoy it. Like I said, I never did it to become famous or to have make a
Yeah.
lot of money. I enjoy doing it, and
Right.
hopefully I can start making a lot more videos again. And like I said, we're really trying to find either a shop or some place that I can go and have more space for the business to make parts and to make videos. So hopefully next year should be something like that.
Yeah. I
It's
think the dream would be to have enough like YouTube income to pay for the shop that you want to be in.
yeah,
Something along those lines. And I've thought about that a lot. I've thought about trying to start like an OBS truck where I bring in a truck and just modify a couple of things and get it right out the door. Just start a business along those lines. But I've had a lot of people ask me if I would ever do a SuperDuty swap for them.
yeah,
And once you do it once or twice, it's kind of just like, I don't even need to get the paper out, the tape measure, or anything. I can just do it.
yeah, yeah.
So I could definitely see that happening in my future. I don't know, maybe, but I could definitely see that being something in like you actually putting these on. And I think, like you said, you'd probably have to change locations to actually make that happen. But you doing those for people, I think there's a lot of money to be made there. And plus, like, you're passionate about it. And what a better shop to do it than from the person that makes the parts.
Right. Yeah, and that's definitely 100% in the plans. Like I said, we're really trying hard to find a spot because I mean, we just can't do it out of the house, out of the garage. And the problem where I live right now is, like I said, it's a small place, and there's not a lot of places to rent. So
Right.
yeah, we've been trying. We've been looking. I mean, I look multiple times a day just to see if something pops up. But
Yeah. Yeah.
haven't had any luck yet. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, sometime next year we should be able to find that and start really going to the next page of the business, and to be able to offer the swap process, to where you just go and drop off the truck,
Yeah.
we get it done for you, and you go and pick it up.
Do you see yourself making like, and we kind of touched on that a little bit. Do you see yourself making like swap parts for other vehicles as
Oh,
far
absolutely.
like I know a lot like how we talked about that just little plate on my truck that was just kind of in the way, which it wasn't even a big deal. I kind of just crammed it right on up and it was fine.
Yeah.
But other vehicles, could you see yourself, making those modified parts, and maybe beyond the OBS, maybe into the, King Ranches that are out and um, so on and so forth?
Yeah. So in my mind, I also want to do like solid axle swaps for the OBS Chevys. I
Yeah.
think that'd be super cool to have, a line of products for that. And then I want to go down to like the 70s Fords, because that's like to me, it's almost a tie between an OBS and like a 79 dent side.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to get my hand on a couple of those trucks and start making parts for them as well. But like I said, I just love anything pre 2000s. So I want to make parts for the Dodges, the Chevys, Fords. Yeah, just we're slowly trying to grow this thing.
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely something you could tear up big time.
Yeah.
Um, and I would love to see some of those older vehicles with those swap modifications. And I think that's the key to keeping them on the road too. If we don't have parts to keep them updated, then they're just gonna get outdated, and then we're gonna find them in the junkyards and smashed.
It definitely sucks. I mean, I love going to the junkyard, and it's always cool finding parts there, but it also pains me because like you see this truck and I'm like, man, like I wish I could have fixed this up, like it
Yeah,
would have been a great truck, and it's just there. I mean, at least you can get parts out of them. Like every time I go, I try and pull as many good parts as I can from them.
right.
But yeah, like the goal is, I think that the newer truck market, there's already so much support for them, and I think if I went into that market, like first of all, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. Because like I said, I'm just not very attracted to newer trucks. But I think definitely the older stuff is where I'm really passionate about. And like
Yeah,
I said, I want to have a full line for Ford trucks and then go to the Chevys and the Dodges and just do as much cool stuff as we can.
right. So as far as like a Chevy or a Dodge, what kind of axles would they? I'm not like I said, I'm not real educated on anything outside of the Ford OBS. So what are they putting under the front ends right now that you believe you could modify or help?
So most people, yeah, with the Chevys, most people are doing the '05 Plus swap as well.
Yeah.
Some do just Dana 60s. But again, like I said, I really love the '05 Plus platform, the the Dana 60s. I think it's a great axle,
Mm.
and that's definitely what I want to keep focusing on. I don't really have a lot of experiences on like the what Dodge uses. I know that they've used Dana 60s. I don't know about their newer trucks, what they use. Um, but definitely, I'll probably just keep sticking with the '05 Plus stuff.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Just like you found, you found your role, you're perfecting it, and just keep perfecting it so that you can't get passed up.
Yep.
And I think you're on that path already, especially with the OBS Ford and once you get into these two other departments, um, I think you'll kill that and just keep it. It's hard to keep evolving and staying relevant.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're gonna have to work too hard at that, especially with what you got going.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we're not planning on staying, in place. Like I said, definitely the next year coming up, I really want to focus on more custom stuff. Like I said, more higher lifts, stuff like that. Cooler trucks. Because like I said, I think we've got the basic kit down pretty good. I'm really proud of it. There's really nothing that I'm planning on changing on the actual kit itself. So Like I talked to you, we're already working on the drop track bar bracket. We're gonna start doing stuff like 4 links or fabricated radius arms, just so you can go up higher. So
Yeah.
that's definitely what's gonna be coming for the next year. Cooler stuff.
I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for that arm or that track track bar bracket.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, once I have a prototype, I'll definitely hit you up and we'll get one of them on your truck so we can get those angles right.
Yeah. I mean, so what I've done right now, as far as that Pittman arm, that's the F-150 Pittman arm. And so I've drilled that Pittman arm bigger. I never
Yeah.
replaced it. So it's just bigger. And then I just threw that up in there. It's probably gonna have to go. I did run the F-150 steering box on there. It is now leaking. So we're probably gonna have to go to a redhead. Just something a little more updated. I think the seals on it are just they're not having fun with pushing a bigger axle. But as far as everything else, the components all line up on the F-150. But that steering box, I think, is going to have to check out of the chat if it's already not already. I just keep putting fluid in it right now, and it's
Yeah, I mean they're old, worn out parts, so everything's gonna need replacing sooner or later. So, it's just part of the game.
right. Well, we're about a couple of minutes away from ending on this session. I enjoyed talking to you. I think I think the nickname is the king of the OBS swap here. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Like I said, this guy, he knows everything about that OBS swap. His parts are cheaper. I believe that I haven't seen others, but I believe these are the most well-made parts. Like I said, check out the welds on these things. I've got the parts, so I can tell you guys that these things are quality. If you guys ever end up doing your swap, this is your guy. Go to him. He is a step-by-step manual over the phone, through the DMs, and even on YouTube, he shows you exactly how everything's done. So there's really no problem. Like I said, I'm very rookie at everything that goes on with these trucks. I did this whole entire swap by myself, right on the floor of my garage with a skid loader and a bucket of the skid loader. I got it done in probably, I would say, 16 hours total, in a couple of days, and I was on the road in no time. So, Joel, is there anything else you'd like to say before we get off of here?
Well, yeah, actually, before I forget, because I was supposed to say this at the beginning of the video, but we got a discount code for you guys, so maybe we'll throw it on, somewhere in the beginning. First class 10, I believe is what my wife made it. It's 10% off the whole entire store. It should be a permanent discount code, so whenever you go, type in first class 10, and it'll be a 10% discount. I'll give you all the info a little bit later. But other than that, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I love the community, and I'm here for you guys, whatever you need.
Awesome. Well, thanks for meeting with me, Joel, and have a good day, and don't give up. Keep it going, baby.
All right, bro. We'll see you
See ya.
later.